Pat Holtz has joined me in the studios. Commiserations and congratulations for getting to the semis in the first place, but not quite winning it, Pat.
Well, it was a great tournament so far. Just pleased I got to the semi-finals and look forward to next year.
Okay, let's have a look at the two players' profiles this evening, starting off with Phil Harrison. He's a very talented player, isn't he, Pat?
Yeah, he's a very great player.
He's a player capable of winning this event?
Yeah, more than so, yeah.
He had a great win coming from 8-3 down in his previous match to win 9-8, but he's up against a very tough Frenchman, the man from France living just outside of Lyon. He's reached the semi-finals before. He thinks he can go all the way this year, and it will take a great performance from Harrison to stop him. Come on then, Pat, I'm going to ask you to put your money on the table. Who do you think is going to win?
Well, it's a tough one to call. I don't know. Possibly Yannick.
Possibly, yeah. Sitting on the fence there a little bit, I suggest, yeah?
Yes,
okay.
Definitely.
We'll have to wait and see. It's over 19 frames. I'm going to hand you over to our MC, Alan Hughes.
Thank you, Mark, and let's welcome the players. And first, the man who has reached the semi-final on 2 occasions and attempted to become the first Frenchman to win this coveted crown. Ladies and gentlemen, will you welcome, please, the very talented Yannick Beaufils. And his opponent, the reigning China Classic champion, former Grand Prix champion, and appearing in his second consecutive World semi-final. Let's welcome the man they called the Farmer, Phil Harrison.
It is such a big match for both players this evening. This to get them into the final for the very first time in their careers. I'll hand you over to our commentary team of Alec Evernadas, Tony Holgate, and Jim White.
This our second semi-final to see who will oppose Jason Twist in the final. The Miracle Man, Phil Harrison, came from 8-3 down to book his place in the semi-final, and a very steady Yannick Beaufils from just outside Lyon, all set to break off to initiate proceedings in the semi-final. It's a best of 19. Ball down, bottom left. And so important for both these young competitors to get off the mark and off the mark as early as possible. We've already seen in the past, as we again have a look at that successful breakoff from Beaufils, that he is a bundle of nervous energy. Can he control it?
Well, he was very close to the famous in-off in the middle pocket there, Jim. We've seen loads of players do it this week in the tournament.
30 seconds.
Yannick Beaufils. He's nominated the Red Bulls and he's going to get first crack at the whip.
Red Bulls in play.
Beaufils also carrying the French flag. He's been to this stage before in 1999, losing only to eventual winner Quentin Hahn. But Alec Evernadas joining us in the commentary box. Alec, you remember very well when Quentin took this title, a fellow Australian, and he really was pushed by young Beaufils, wasn't he?
I do remember the match being a tight early match, but after that, Quentin just showed his class and was far superior in the match and the tournament.
Some pressure pots about to come for Yannick right now. He takes a lot of time. Very measured, as is his opponent, Phil Harrison. Thin clip on this red.
That's a great shot from Beaufils. Let's see it again, very fine cut. See it hit the two jaws of red and just enough to get it to the pocket. Well, he had a fantastic start in his quarter-final, Jim. Romped into a 5-0 lead against Carl Morris from England. He'd be over the moon if you could get a similar start tonight.
Eventually ran home a 9-3 winner in that quarterfinal match against Carl Morris, as you said, Tony. And Morris, no mean feat, the number 2 seed in this tournament, and a former Embassy Whirlpool champion himself.
Well, his next shot is going to be going for the red on the right-hand cushion. There you see there's a little gap between red and rail. He's got to keep control of the cue ball. Looks like he's looking if he wants to pot it down the cushion and try and kick into the red. I don't really feel there's any need for that. He could just play with a bit of top and side and bring the cue ball just lower than the 2 reds, and he would have them available in each of the centre pockets. What do you think, Alec?
Yeah, I don't think the angle is quite there to into the red. Well, he tried to cheat the pocket and a little bit of side, and it makes the pot a lot more difficult.
So much so I think he was going to the wrong chair. Well, interesting now, we get our first look at Phil Harrison, and the similarities in these 2 players go beyond this particular match. When Beaufils, as mentioned, lost to Quentin Hahn in the semifinals in '99, would you believe that Phil Harrison lost to the semifinalist that ended up winning the event last year, Chris Melling? So another junction between these 2 crosses.
Phil's got to be happy with this first visit here, Jim. He's basically hasn't got a tough ball on the table. He's just got to work his way around the table to clear these yellows. He's got 1 hard black, but it all looks pretty good for a first visit.
$30 seconds.
When Phil started to come back at Lee Kendall in the quarterfinals, it was very noticeable that his pace sped up dramatically. So you have to feel that when Phil's motoring is when he's at his best.
Yeah, it was an unbelievable comeback, Jim.
30 seconds.
You thought he was dead and buried against Lee Kendall.
How's that for a perfect shot there, Tony? Nice little kiss on the red, hold for the yellow. And it's got 3 linking balls to get to the black.
Not comfortable reaching that one, and he has asked for the rest.
I don't think Phil Harrison enjoys playing with the rest. There's nothing wrong with that shot. You can pot the yellow into the bottom left-hand corner. Just bring the cue ball up. You see where he wants to land. Bring the cue ball up the top of the table. Leave a slight angle on the yellow next to the 8 ball. So all he's got to do is pot that and screw it back for the black, and that's absolutely spot on.
Beautiful little touch there, just feathering the cue ball right in behind the black. And the black goes down. Phil Harrison 1, Yannick Beaufils 0. The Englishman draws first blood here against Beaufils.
Both of them are great players. Slight contrast in styles.
Frame number 2, Harrison off the mark, straight into the break, but as we've seen so often in the past, the break hasn't necessarily been that friendly. And this time, for Phil Harrison, he was delighted to see that yellow drop.
Yeah, very nice split as well.
There's a lot of movement on them balls, wasn't there, Tony? They just seem to keep on rolling around, which is obviously going to eventually find a pocket.
You've got plenty of power into the shot.
Don't the yellows look good, Tony?
30 seconds.
No hurdles here for Phil right now.
Really, this should be a straightforward finish for Phil Harrison. This will make a nice change for him to be in front for once. There's a comeback he had to make against Lee Kendall. Find himself. He's back to the wall, 8-3 down. They're reeling off 6 frames in a row to win. 9-8. Unbelievable fight back.
And on the other side of the fence, you've got Yannick, who won 5 in a row. All of a sudden, will be trailing the match.
Both in unfamiliar waters. In the round of the last 16, Beaufils took out Rob McKenna, the only 2-time winner of this event. And only one man still remaining has a chance of equaling that mark. It's neither of these two. Jason Twist will be looking for his 2nd title against the winner of this match. And the way Phil Harrison's playing right now, he's got to be odds-on favorite to be booking a spot in that final. He now leads Yannick Beaufils 2-0 in this race to 10. As Yannick gets set to break off here, frame 3. Not dire straits just yet, but he doesn't want to lose sight of Phil Harrison. Needs a successful break off, and he got one. Yellow in the corner, red in the middle. And this looks pretty inviting as well.
The yellows look to be the ball for me.
One more look at this break from Beaufils. Good control of the white. Parked it in the center of the table. Never a bad move, especially when you see balls going down.
30 seconds.
I feel he's got to go to the top of the table first. Play the yellow up the rail. You just want to run the cue ball through for the one at the top of the table. Just played that very well. Yannick Beaufils checking every option. Obviously thinking not just 1 or 2 balls in front, I think he's thinking of every ball.
30 seconds.
The way he's studying the table.
He played so well in his quarterfinal match against Carl Morris. I think we were all waiting for him to start hitting some bumps in the road, and he just sailed over them. Even when it looked like Morris might start firing back, Beaufils had the answer. Only 23 years of age, he's got the pool world at his feet.
seconds.
Just notice his sleeves rolled up there, Jim.
So was that some sort of a fashion statement you were alluding to, Tony, or is that against the rules in any way?
Under the dress code, in fairness, is you're not allowed to roll your sleeves up. And I have to say
It looks like they're just cuffed, actually. He's just got them short cuffed.
30 seconds.
Had a little flutter on Phil Harrison, did you, Tony?
Well, I was just thinking if Phil needed a route to stop him, that could be one way.
Good shot there from Beaufils. Very steady over the cue. Just slightly overdrew this, but that yellow looked out. He is also, at 23 years of age, the captain of the French side. And that goes along to telling you the sort of attributes they place on his game.
I think he actually come up through the ranks with the juniors for France. He's been playing at this level for over 5 or 6 years now.
I recall him as well, Alec. He's no stranger, certainly here to the Embassy Championships in whatever division.
Great shot there from Yannick.
But also a former French national champion, and actually became the first player to compete on the Embassy International Tour this season. Sponsor's invite and exemption. Unfortunately, that forced him to give up his job as a salesman, now taking up pool full-time as a career.
30 seconds.
Well, I say unfortunately, that might have been the best thing that ever happened. This black, right center, to come back at Phil Harrison. No doubt about it. Beaufils parks the black to the bottom of the pocket. 2-1 Phil Harrison, but Beaufils off the mark in this semifinal. 13 countries took part in this year's Embassy World 8-Ball Pool Championships. And I suppose they can't come from much further away than our friend just a couple seats over, Alec Evernatus from Australia. You send a team each and every year, Alec. Unfortunately, this year, you saw the standard of team play improve that dramatically. It was difficult. Phil Harrison all set to break now. Frame 4. And I didn't hear anything drop. Beaufils bolted out of his chair. You can see this, a very good split.
There's Phil Harrison looking on as Yannick Beaufils comes to the table. And Alec, what colour would you choose here?
I think the yellows, quite possibly. But no, I don't know. Maybe the reds. I think the reds might be a little bit better. You've got the 2 yellows on the side that are quite together, and the red seems to be blocking the higher yellows. So
Long straight red. No doubt about it. The remaining 6 all open. Big chance this again for Beaufils to pull back, to level pegging with Phil. But again, it all looks so easy from up here.
Geez, he really is studying the table hard. Every time he pots a ball, he's just reassessing the whole table again and again, just to make sure over and over in his mind he's going the right way, or are there better options, or he's really on the ball here, Tony. He's looking good.
I was impressed with him in his quarterfinals, even though he always looks, you know, sort of free, but he doesn't have to get the balls to the pocket.
I actually saw him line up the red in the bottom left-hand corner. I thought that might have been the best way to go, because that ball doesn't link up with anything. That was an opportunity to actually get rid of that red. So now we could find that ball a problem to line up with the last black, because obviously he's leaving that ball for last. Do you think, Tony?
Oh, you never know with the French players, because they do go around the finishes slightly different to some UK players. I've seen some choice things, but because some of them are safety orientated, some of the French players, and
But no two players are able the same way. We all have our little subtle preferences in shots that we prefer, and some like to hit balls, some like to roll balls, and
30 seconds.
Well, like Einstein said, there's 6 million possible shots on a pool table, so there's millions to go through.
another look at this miss from Beaufils here. I think softer that might have dropped, but Phil Harrison was right in line with that. He knew as soon as anybody that that ball wasn't going in.
Seconds.
Yeah, see the yellow ball there in the middle, but didn't have a lot of room with the white ball to work it in any way. So really didn't have a lot of option, but just to run through, and you can see he's just on the yellow there. That's the one there.
well, he's been a bit unfortunate there. Just hit it a bit too heavy. Just he's not happy with himself. Run out of position, and he's not really left himself any sort of shot at all.
I wonder if he might be on that one in the middle. That looks like it might just be on, Tony.
Well, he got away with that one. Just to make it a bit more tricky, he's going to have to cue at the yellow into the left-hand centre pocket, bridging over the yellow as nearest the bottom cushion.
That's not too bad though. He doesn't have to do anything with the white ball.
Well, no, if he makes a pot, it's easy. But we've seen he's missed, haven't we?
Not yet, we haven't.
In smaller towns.
Seconds.
He doesn't like it.
He keeps shaking his head, but
In fairness, I mean, I've known Phil for a lot of years and playing in professional tournaments with him, and he does shake his head a lot, even when he's perfect. I think it's force of habit with him sometimes.
what an escape from the magic man there. I don't think anybody expected him to take that double on.
Well, no, he obviously doesn't like bridging over that yellow. I mean, it wasn't the shot to play, really.
He's actually done it all now. If this yellow nearest the white passes to the bottom left corner, got a feeling that Phil Harrison might be over the mark in this, the fourth frame of this schedule 19. He's having a real good look at it. He certainly doesn't have a full pocket.
Well, we know Jim missed the pocket side. Might be able to play his dead weight into the knuckle on the right-hand side and just creep it into the pocket.
I think he's going to take the ball in the middle and just drag it back. You can see it's not so bad. This shot requires a little bit of cue power here. He's looking at going around the back of the red. 2 cushions to put the black in the bottom left-hand corner.
He's kind of into the bottom right-hand corner. He's made the pot. And what a great shot from Phil Harrison.
That's the shot of the match so far. Slots the 8 into the same pocket that Beaufils made his in. And 3-1 now. Phil Harrison over Yannick Beaufils. Well, Phil will be considerably more pleased with that effort than the one previous that saw Beaufils take the frame. Frame 5. Yannick Beaufils trails 3-1 at this point, and he will be breaking off now in frame number 5. And ideally for him, he'd love to see either red or yellow down. And with a good split of the remaining. He didn't hit that with as much power as we've seen in the past.
There's no venom in that one at all.
I think he may have just mistimed that one. Because it is all in the timing. It's trying to let the cue do the work, and when you actually release the cue with the backhand, it's not timed at all.
Red ball looks to be the colour. It's Phil Harrison checking to see everything goes.
30 seconds.
He knows he can get to that. It's his last ball to get on the 8 ball. So it just tells you how many shots that Phil Harrison's thinking ahead. He's looked at all of them.
Certainly don't look to be any obstacles on the table, do there, Tony, right now?
Not at all.
Well, certainly not now. He's just landed on his hardest ball. That looked like there might be a problem, but he's landed on it perfect just to run through to the rail to have the one on the right-hand cushion.
Alec, that's one thing that I think is very obvious with all the good players. When they've got a problem area, they don't leave it to the end, not unless they have no choice. They get after it right away. If it doesn't work out, they've got other options that they can pursue.
He's going to be taking the red down at the bottom of the table next.
Position from this really is the key. If he lands on one of those 3 reds nicely, you can see they're all very potable.
He didn't want to take the chance of trying to screw the cue up off the last red down the rail. So he knows he's guaranteed that. To be caught really between the devil and deep blue sea.
No problem at all there.
He doesn't look like missing right now.
So that's the red on the right-hand top corner. Just to run through for the red that we see closest to us there, straight through. Land the white on the side cushion.
Well, Beaufils knows now, if he didn't know before, that he's in a real game. Harrison has started off where he finished against Lee Kendall. He's playing fantastically.
He's taken 4 of the first 5 frames in the semifinal, and that's why he leads 4-1. Mr. Steady Phil Harrison over Yannick Beaufils.
He's doing his shoelaces up there. He did well to clear up there without falling over his own feet.
Leading 4 frames to 1.
As always, a very good crowd, very knowledgeable crowd here in Blackpool. This game comes with a lot of support. Phil Harrison about to break now, frame 6, leading 4-1, and a good break could really put him in ideal position.
Over the table.
That didn't happen. Yannick Beaufils in with the first chance. 4-1 in arrears right now. Beaufils, you've got to feel that when he gets his chances, he's got to put them to good use. And this is a chance.
30 seconds.
See the yellows all in one end of the table. Sometimes that could be could make it a little bit more difficult, but it's not so bad. There's a few reds up the other end. Makes it a lot easier to negotiate the table when it's a lot more open like that. So it's got a few options here. It doesn't have to be pinpoint perfect.
In his mind, he's already seeing the sequence with which he wants to remove the yellows. But one bad positional shot
30 seconds.
changes that plan.
It'll be interesting to see now how Yannick plays when he's faced with a heavy line against him. We know he can play well from the front, but so can everyone.
Yeah, but you've got to get to the front. He's proven that. He's beaten 2 world champions. He's not going to hang around and wait for them.
Just a test of character for when you're behind, 4-1 down.
It's looking pretty good here. He's just cleared up one side of the table. Now to just travel to the middle of the table to clear up the other 3 yellows. Probably leaving the yellow in the centre pocket last for the black in the left-hand corner.
Really are no obstacles here either.
No, it's absolutely perfect. And just pots that yellow there that we're looking straight at. Just stop the white dead. Play the yellow that's also in view into that same pocket, bringing the white out. Last yellow will go into the right hand centre, black in the bottom left. I feel I'm putting in one of my best performances now, potting wise.
I just showed you the roadmap there, Tony. He didn't go your way.
He meant to go my way because he played that shot badly.
He didn't quite hit the white, did he? He pushed at it, which then released the white ball from the bottom that was put on it. It didn't last for the distance of the ball.
If he's straight, he can draw it straight back into the area the white is now. The only danger is not hitting it into the middle and contacting the red. He's just got to miss that red, and he did. This 8 for 4-2. It's there. Beaufils is not going away, but the ratio doesn't work for him. He's allowing Phil Harrison to take one he takes. And at the end of the day, that doesn't equate to a win. 4-2 Harrison over Beaufils. Phil Harrison all ready now. Frame 8. 5-2 in front.
Oh, the white.
And that's like turning it right over to Beaufils, and Beaufils is there waiting. He came and stepped right in front of Phil Harrison. He was there waiting for the white. We've got the ball return on this beautiful Supreme Pool table. He was there waiting for the cue ball.
Yellows look good here too, with the yellow in the middle and run down for the yellow on the side, to hopefully just to clear the black or the red, with a couple of balls in the bottom left hand corner as backup. Big opportunity here. I called the yellow first in the middle because it was crucial to get the right angle to run down for that yellow next to the black. But Yannick chose to take the other yellow first, and now he's left himself the wrong angle there.
No, I think you're right there, Alec.
Because at least he could have placed the white exactly where he needed it to be.
30 seconds.
He's hesitating. But he did make himself more awkward than he should have been, didn't he?
Yeah, that was right. Yeah, he's played his first shot
And now
bad.
he's just paid the price for it, I think.
That's right. He's going to let Phil back at the table here. He's got nothing on.
Well, the only shot I can see that he's got is plenty of yellow that's nearest to the cue ball, off the yellow at the bottom of the table into that bottom left-hand corner.
Seconds.
And
What
that's
a
exactly
shot from Beaufils there.
And that's exactly what I called. It's the only shot to play from there.
Have another look at this. Never looked out that yellow.
But in fairness, that's all he had on. You want to just give the table up to Phil Harrison. And he certainly didn't. Great shot.
When your back's to the wall and you produce them sort of shots, it's a sign of a class player.
Dangerous shot. He's tempting now. The black could go anywhere.
Well, he's moved nearly every ball on the table and ended up pretty good.
But still, the path to victory in this frame, fraught with danger. Even though he's got shots, Alec, it could be a lot easier.
Most definitely, he's making a new plan every time he visits the table. Just needs one good shot to get back into position, and then you'll find he should clear the table. I think he might just still be on that, Tony. If he plays that just nice and softly, then he's got the other cut in the yellow in the middle. Or he may choose to run up to the top and put the yellow in the bottom left-hand corner.
I think the first option is probably the best one, Alec.
Well, just thinking about it, I think the second option may be better.
There's what Yannick thinks it counts. And he's pretty perfect. Just wants to be in that space on the table to enable him to cut that 8 ball back into that bottom left-hand corner.
Played it well. It's only a half ball cut. It's not too bad at all. From where he was at the start, to play that shot by half a ball out, just moved every ball on the table to finally fight the balls.
I don't think there's any argument.
Oh, geez, he jumped.
I was just about to say that this is the best out that we've seen in the match to this stage. But boy, was he up off that cue quickly.
But by missing that black as well, he's 2 reds behind the black. He's shunted over there, and those 2 reds are available now for Phil Harrison. But what an unbelievable miss from Yannick Beaufils.
But the shots he's just played,
That was about the easiest.
Why did he jump up? He should have just stayed down and kept his head about himself, and that would have went in no problem. It wasn't a tough black.
That one will take some erasing from his memory banks.
I think that was scoreboard pressure, that one. Certainly wasn't a tough shot.
That was just a matter of staying still. As you said, Alec, I think he knew there was a big difference between 5-3 and 6-2. Because 6-2 now is the scoreline that he's staring at. And all Phil Harrison has to do is mop up these last 4 reds. Not the best shot he's played because he doesn't want to nudge that other red over. Still got a full pocket. He's playing the difficult one for that very reason.
Just got to make sure he gets the right position on his last ball now. Well, it's just a plain ball cut. The cue ball would naturally come down towards the 8 ball. He's got to make sure this is frame ball. He's played it well. And this frame's been stolen.
That frame definitely should have gone the way of Beaufils, but it went the way of Phil Harrison. 6-2. A very comfortable lead for the Englishman. Everyone focused on the 4x8 green surface in the center of the stage, where Yannick now will break off. The pattern has continued. 2 for Harrison, 1 for Beaufils. 2 for Harrison, 1 for Beaufils. 2 for Harrison. Will it be 1 more for Beaufils?
Open table.
Nothing off the break there for Yannick.
And that is the problem. Again, we see the break. Such a great disbursement of reds and yellows, and if you don't slot one in, you turn it right over.
Once again flirting with that left-hand middle pocket for Yannick. But Harrison's got such a great chance here to make it a 7-2 interval. Opted for the yellows. He's going to be playing the plant next into the bottom left-hand corner.
It's also going to break up.
Dislodge that awkward yellow, Alec.
That's exactly right. There, he's done it there. Perfect too.
The confidence now is oozing through Phil Harrison.
No reason to slump.
Oh, he's not happy because he's going to be.
He's worried if he cuts that yellow, Alec, that he cannons into the cue ball into the bottom right-hand corner. That's his main worry.
That's right. He's concerned with his next shot. It's not this shot that he's worried about. We know he doesn't like that at all. Bridging over that red.
30 seconds.
Well, I don't think anyone's told him that it's Beaufils' turn to win the frame.
I don't think Phil really cares.
I guarantee it.
And that's what I was just
That was
talking
the
about.
problem.
That's the cannon off the second yellow into the corner.
Time running.
Look at this. Never looked out, and he knew it. His eyes on the cue ball, even before it went into the pocket. You don't tease fate, though.
Well, I think Yannick, he thinks, well, I gave him the last one, so he's going to give me this one. So he's got to be happy with the 2 shots here. Probably feels like he's owed this frame.
At the end of the day, if you blacks like the one that Yannick did in the last frame, you don't deserve to win anything. I'm sorry, but at this level, you can't afford that.
No need to apologise, Tony.
When do you fly back to Australia, Alec? I will miss you, mate.
30 seconds.
It's only 12 months away from my next chance.
Wait. Again, another player doesn't like the rest is Yannick Beaufils.
He's got the insurance policy of that second visit in him. Should a miss creep in, but I wouldn't expect him to.
Oh, he's landed pretty good, isn't he, Alec?
Yeah, he's got options here. He's really got the two reds on the side rail there. He's going to have to clear one of them up first, and obviously make sure he pots it, because he's got a second visit to worry about with his next tough red.
In a way, he's spoilt for choice, isn't he?
Yeah. He must pot this one here to make sure he's not putting himself under too much pressure on the last red. But I can't see him missing this.
He doesn't have to do much for the cue ball. Just drop it down the rail. Cue ball's going to move no more than 2 or 3 inches. Just sort of like pulling it back slightly.
30 seconds.
Wasn't the most convincing pot in the world, but it's gone.
Yeah, good enough.
Choices. The difficult red for Beaufils, even if it doesn't drop, it hangs around that corner.
30
It
seconds.
won't be that bad.
Oh no, because he'll have another shot, Jim, as well. Don't forget, he's still got 2 visits.
It didn't seem to worry him though. He played that quite firm. It wouldn't have been sitting over the hole if he missed that. He's playing quite confidently, no problem at all. He won't have a problem with these. He's just taken his time over these last few balls here because he knows what he done with that black before.
And he'd love to have that one over, given the score line. If he wins this 6-3, not the best shot in the world from Yannick there, though.
No, he's overhit it. A little bit of no man's land there. He's got to think up back. But he wouldn't like to miss this, potting it rattled in the jaws of red and went behind the yellow, would he?
It's a lot of movement again.
And again,
Very similar. Sorry, Tony. Very similar to the black that he missed. He was up off the cue with his shoulder.
He certainly wasn't like this in the first couple of frames. He was steady as a rock in the early frames.
again he's got the 8 ball into the top left hand corner, has he? Decided to waste a shot and set it up, and I bet his heart was in his mouth there.
Second visit in, and Beaufils parks the black. Gets into the mid-session interval with respectability. It's 6-3 to Phil Harrison.
A very relieved Yannick Beaufils. He reduces the deficit to 6-3. And Pat Holt with me beaten in the semi-final. So I just wonder how big a frame that is for Yannick.
Well, that was a massive frame. To go in the break 7-2 down, he was staring defeat in the face. I mean, to pull that back from 6-3 when he shouldn't really be at the table was a wonderful result for him.
I don't want to sound cruel, but he doesn't look at all relaxed out there. He missed a bad black the frame before. He just looks very, very nervous.
He just needs to go into the dressing room, just compose himself, gather his thoughts, and just come out with the game plan he had at the start of the match.
I mean, I hate to remind you, but you know, matches change very quickly, don't they, in April? You were 3-1 up, and then going into the interval, you're 5-4 down. What do you tell yourself? How do you get yourself in that right?
You just try and focus on what you come into the match with. Believe in yourself and just hope it turns for you. Just on the break of the balls.
But the thing is, Harrison, he looks confident, doesn't he?
Oh, he's very confident.
Yeah.
You can see with his little bounce in his step.
Yeah.
He looks confident.
He only needs 4 more to book his place in the final against Jason Twist. Can he do it? Great to find out. Welcome back to the second semi-final of the Embassy World Pool Championships here in Blackpool. It's been a fascinating match so far, this best of 19. Phil Harrison leading 6-3 over the Frenchman, Yannick Beaufils. Well, he needs 10. Can Phil Harrison do it? We're going to find out. I'll hand you back to our commentary team of Jim White, Tony Holgate, and Fernandez.
And the score 6-3 to Phil Harrison. Best of 19. Harrison is doubled up on Beaufils as he breaks off here in frame number 10. And he probably can't believe he's 6-3 in front because he really hasn't been that successful off the break, has he, Alex?
No, he has been struggling with his break. Hitting him hard enough, but just not getting any balls in.
Lots of reds over on the side cushions, so wouldn't surprise me if Yannick opted for the yellows here. Mind you, the reds present easier starters. The yellows certainly have to be the ball on. And always a big frame the first out of the interval. Takes on added importance, given that Beaufils finds himself 6-3 in arrears.
Don't know if he actually played for that yellow that he's on now, because I expected him to clear the bottom 4 balls and then go back up to the other end of the table, clear them 3, and then come back halfway back for the black. So, but he's ended up quite good. He's got the yellow on the top right-hand corner, just to roll up 2 yellows on the top rail.
30 seconds.
I know one thing for sure just watching Alex here. I bet you he goes through a bit of cue chalk. He does chalk his cue a lot.
Lucky chalk is cheap.
He's not done yet. And he may not be done yet. Gotta make sure. Well, just 5 times he chalked up there.
I think it's more a nervous reaction. He's just
Sure it is. It is habitual, isn't it? We all know that.
It's got a good little angle on this yellow ball here, just to drift up halfway up the table. Maybe for the on the left-hand corner, left-hand side rail. Seems the most difficult at the moment.
We might have the perfect angle.
Well, this is pretty straightforward now for Yannick. There you see the route he's got to this yellow ball in the corner. Just going to bring the cue ball back towards the side rail.
I don't think there's a lot of angle there, Tony, but he's done it all right. He's got on it.
Well, this will break the sequence if Beaufils can just take these last 2 yellows and the black. He's allowed Harrison to secure 2 frames for every 1 that he's pinched. And a 6-4 score line in the offing.
Which doesn't sound too bad, Jim. It's not that far away.
Not at all, Alec. Not at all. Beaufils also knows that he will be breaking off in the next one, with a chance to pull back to 6-5. Eight deposited. Yannick Beaufils is not laying down in this semifinal. 6-4. He chose Phil Harrison, but he'll be breaking in frame number 11. If he can pull off 1 good break, slot a ball or 2 into the pockets, and with a good split of the colors. Well, who's to say he can't get back to 6-5 and put the pressure right back on Phil? The semifinals of the 2002 Embassy World 8-Ball Pool Championship. The biggest event of the year, and only 3 remain. The winner of this will be playing Jason Twist in the final. Beaufils crashes into them. Red down. And the Reds don't look too bad.
Yeah, that's a good break there, Jim. He really give it all he had on that. Opened them all up, and really the Reds do look good.
Yellows really don't look bad either. Just personal preference here, whichever one he prefers, but either one.
Well, most importantly, keeping Phil away from the table, though. This will be the second frame. Phil's had one shot, with Yannick possibly picking up 2 frames after the break.
And the pressure reapplied. He looks very confident, doesn't he, the way he's cueing?
Yeah, he must have been doing a lot of thinking out there. In about 5 minutes, so much would have went through his mind.
I don't know whether you spotted him, Alec, when the interval was on, but he was just outside the main arena in the chair, just almost meditating to himself. No one around him. I think he knew that if he left the arena, he would probably be surrounded by friends and countrymen. He wanted to be on his own.
30 seconds.
Keep his mind on the job, basically, I think.
I saw Phil out then, he was smiling, laughing and joking with people. Which at the end of the day sometimes can backfire because you're taking your mind off the job.
It's a good plant there. Good plant. Good shot.
I think he might be looking at the red to the same pocket. And if he does have a problem ball where it's situated now, could well be the black.
He wants to take that red at the top of the table out of the way early because he don't want to leave that to the last ball because he's got to get on the 8.
Well, none of the reds really afford easy position to the 8, save the one below it.
30 seconds.
He's taking on his tough red. It's a great shot.
No problem there, right?
This
in
is
the
a
middle of the
different
hole.
player than started this match out. Of that, we can be assured.
There we see it again. Clean as a whistle into the top corner.
Just weighing up in his mind where he'd like to position that white.
Seconds.
He'll get on with it now. He's heard his 30-second call. I mentioned that in his quarter-final. He likes to hit the 30 seconds out of the way, so he knows it's not going to be shouted when he's queuing up action.
Next shot really is the big one. If he elects the red bottom left, he's going to have to really force that cue ball if he tries to go around to play the red above the black to the top right, and I can't really see him doing that. This just isn't quite as straightforward as it could be. Simply because where that black is in that bottom left corner covered, if he elects the red into the center, his job will be a little easier, but again, position to the red below the black. Dodgy. Well, here we go. This is the big shot here. He needs perfect position on that last red.
It's not bad, Jim, for black in the centre.
Well, if he can run through and not hit the black, mind you, even if he did that, he could force it. If he plays it hard enough, he can force it where it's open into the bottom left corner.
Oh, I think I'd prefer to be playing the red into the centre pocket and just drawing the white ball back and put the black in the same centre pocket.
Well, he's looking at running through and canning into the black.
I wouldn't want to raise the back end of the cue here, Alan.
30 seconds.
That's
Look
what I
how
thought.
he's played
That was a great shot. Superb. What a finish from Yannick Beaufils there, breaking out. He's just won the last 3 frames on the spin, and he's pulled back to 6-5 in the semifinal. Well, Phil Harrison knows that he will be breaking in frame number 12. But I think everyone in the crowd, as does Phil, knows that now he's under the gun. And the finger on the trigger belongs to Yannick Beaufils. Harrison breaks off. Red down, the last ball moving on the table. Have another look at this. This was the last ball moving on the table, and it found its way to the bottom of the pocket. Now his choice.
Yellow ball's nominated.
I think I'd have to say yellows here. That red under the black really only goes in the one centre pocket at the moment, unless he was to balls around, but all his reds are up the other end of the table, so I think yellows were the way to go.
Really, the only difficult yellow is the one at the top end of the table for Phil right now. And this will be a test of character. He'll show his mettle if he can go on to clear these yellows up, especially with the barrage that Yannick Beaufils has thrown his way. He doesn't want to wait too long to get after that yellow either. He's got the angle now off this yellow to just force that white into the cushion and back out for that yellow top left. That might be the shot you're going to see him play. Just didn't hit it hard enough. That was the intended plan. That was the reason that I thought he should play it sooner rather than later, because he still has options.
Well, it's going to be tough now to get up there. Let's play the yellow nearest the cushion on the right hand side of the table next. Other than that, we could play the one at the bottom of the table and use the two cushions to bring the cue ball round, and that's what he's going for. He's going to try and get on that yellow once again. And he looks like he's on it in the centre pocket. He is.
That's a great shot there. Good judge of pace. He's even left himself a little angle just to roll up for that ball on the side rail again there.
And that's a cracking shot there. Harrison bouncing back. Looks like he's going to stop the rot, and here we'll see it again.
Looked like he was excited to see that one go.
And all of a sudden he's getting a skip back into his step again.
And that'll take it out. And Yannick Beaufils lunged out of his chair. My goodness. Look at this.
That is a terrible miss.
Tony, I don't think anyone in the arena thought that Phil Harrison was going to miss that yellow.
I have to say at the moment that's probably the miss of the tournament.
It might well be.
What a big turnaround for Yannick.
30 seconds.
All the reds there, no problem there. I can't see a problem ball for Yannick here.
No time like the present either here for Yannick. Glorious opportunity. He hasn't been back on level pegging since before a ball was struck in the match. Faced deficits of 4-1 and 6-2 at one stage.
You see he's got easy linking balls here. Just put the red in the top right hand corner, draw the white back a bit for the red in the middle of the table near the centre pocket, which he's looking at right there. And with the options on the last two
And he's been around for so long. We're so accustomed to seeing him in the Embassy Championships that you tend to forget that he's the French national champion in 97 and 2001, and since 97, in fact, he's never been ranked lower than 3. Testament not only to the ability, but to the consistency of the ability when it's been called upon. What a picture-perfect performance here in securing this frame from Yannick Beaufils, but all manufactured by a hiccup from Phil Harrison. And Harrison paid the ultimate price. 6 frames apiece now. Following this, Beaufils cleared up, all to play for here in Blackpool. Phil Harrison, trailing 7-6, breaks into this cluster, and possibly with a bit of frustration in that stroke. But nothing down. Walked back to his chair with even more frustration than he came out of it with.
All of a sudden, I think we can take nothing for granted here. They both missed a couple of easy shots in that last frame. It's getting closer to the wire, and
30 seconds.
who knows? I don't think we can take anything for granted right now. Yannick seems to have loosened up a bit there. He's just being a little bit more flamboyant and starting to enjoy it. Well, why wouldn't he be? 7-6 up.
Try and tie Harrison up.
I think given the position of the Reds, dictated a little bit of a tactical battle in this frame. I think it's fair to say that these sort of frames really materialize.
No, well, that's coming from their great breaks. They've been really opening the balls up. Nothing's been
30 seconds.
sticking together. It's just been open tables. See that shot there is a bit of a loose shot as well. I mean, it's giving Yannick an opportunity to get his tough red out on the left-hand rail here. With Phil still having 2 tough yellows in his bottom left-hand corner.
Just tell me to play the red at the top of the table instead. Bring that one into play, and that's a very, very good shot.
It's a good thinking shot. I thought he was going to try and push that red inside under the yellow there, but he's just bringing that ball right out of there. He doesn't want to know anything about that.
That took a very accurate stroke, though, to play that between the yellows with the gap that he had and avoid the double kiss on the white. And this used to be a friendly game. Yannick looking at that side cushion, a 1 cushion escape to the red nearest the white. It's got larger targets down the far end of the table, but looking at how close that white is to the yellow.
I think I'd be tempted to go for the red that's stuck on the side rail near the yellow, just to try and progress that. He's got away with that. Oh, he hasn't. I thought he was just going to clip that then.
Foul. 2 visit.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, two
Just
bites of
missed
the
them both.
cherry. Yeah, 2 bites of the cherry and missed them both.
Two awkward yellows, both of them the bottom end of the table as we look.
I wonder if you can pop that yellow into the centre pocket and play a shot where you
30
can cannon them
seconds.
both out at the same time. Risky, but I feel he's got to sort of throw a bit of caution to the wind. Can't afford to just sit back.
He might bump the one yellow into the other and try and dislodge them both right here.
He's got to have a go.
Needs to be a bit lucky here, Tony. Whoops.
Oh my word.
It is all.
Everything's going wrong for Harrison now.
He is completely off the boil.
And Beaufils cannot believe luck. His opponent's handed him frame after frame.
That's a shot
Second
there.
visit in. That was a good shot.
Yeah, choosing just to waste one there. He knew the red wasn't on. Now looking at all these reds there, it's not a problem ball at all.
You have to like his train of thought, though, Alec, don't you? That shows a lot of confidence in that right away, because he's basically established now that he's going for game on this visit.
That's right. Exactly right there, Jim.
And when you see that sitting in your chair, as Phil Harrison is, you know now you've got a lot
30
to
seconds.
contend with.
Well, he's basically saying, I don't need 2 shots anymore. I'll just put this over the hole here and I'll go game with 1.
That was an excellent shot he just played there. He could almost shoot any one of these 4 reds.
Spoiled for choice.
Believe me, sometimes it can be confusing out there, and too much thinking, not enough potting. It really does confuse sometimes. But he's done it easy here. Ball into the bottom corner. Screw it straight back for the red in the centre pocket. Left hand centre with an easy red into the other centre. Absolutely perfect there.
We go red into the left-hand centre first. Just drops this in nice and gently. Thought we could have played that a bit softer.
Yeah, but it doesn't really matter, Tony. The black's accessible from anywhere on the table.
No, I know, I'm just being hypothetical, but you just could have played that a lot softer and been dead straight on it when it was in a position where you couldn't possibly miss. Unlikely to miss this though.
He's just taking a little bit of time there. He knows it's an easy shot, but just taking his time.
The Beaufils juggernaut rolls on. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill right now. It's growing in momentum and strength. On the last 6 on the spin and leads Phil Harrison 8-6. Look at all the French supporters, all members of each team there. Sweaty palms. They haven't stopped him.
It's an unbelievable effort to win 5 frames in a row, Jim, after the break. Unbelievable. Just turn the whole match around.
Frame 15. Both breaks off, looking for red or yellow. But not the white. That's a showstopper.
Another look at this break again. Silly cue ball knocked in at the corner with the red chasing behind it.
It's one of those cases where you've secured the momentum and you almost feel like you want to let it up a little bit on the break and make sure that cue ball is on the table.
You know, I actually think he tried that, Jim. He just seemed like he took a little bit more time over that break, and it didn't work.
He's got Phil Harrison struggling right now, and you almost feel that the last thing you wanted to give Phil Harrison was a chance, a real good look with cue ball in hand. And that's what he's done.
Sometimes we've seen this go the other way, where the player that's struggling out there, all of a sudden he's got the first visit with all the balls remaining on the table. It makes it a little bit tougher to get position. Things have got to be a little bit more perfect. You don't get an easy positional run, where you might find Phil falling down somewhere, which would leave Yannick straight back in there with an open table.
We've still got a bit of work to do here, Harrison.
Exactly right.
You can put this red on the left. Try to send the cue ball into the cluster where the black is. And he's played that very, very well.
The sense of urgency has brought about the Phil Harrison that started this match out.
He's going to play this shot here. Just kick into the yellow. Holding for the red. And now this is the simple stuff, but he's had two simple chances and blown them not very long ago. And don't tell me that's not going to cross his mind now as he gets nearer to the 8 ball.
He's wasting little time attacking this 8. Well, I wasn't so sure that was in. He appeared to be. It took a while coming, but Phil Harrison finally secures a frame. He is still trailing Yannick Beaufils 8-7 at the juncture. Pull up your most comfortable chair, get a cup of tea, and settle in. I think we're here for the duration in this semifinal. A best of 19, the first player to 10 will be through to the final where Jason Twist awaits. Phil Harrison all set. Can he get the measure of the break? Well, he wants to be sure.
You gave them a good hit, but nothing gone down. Harrison dejectedly walks away from the table.
The event's number 6 seed, as we see break again, is really in trouble in this match. And that's trouble with a capital T.
Seconds.
You'd like to be on yellows here, but I can't see an easy starting ball. So I think he's going to choose the reds, but I think I'd still prefer to take the long yellow into the bottom left-hand corner here.
You and I both, Alec.
Red ball's in play.
I didn't think it was that tough a pot because you had a big pocket down there.
Well, I think given position, every one of the reds is available. And Yannick has given us no reason to think that he can't control that cue ball well enough to perform a little artistry right here.
Seconds.
the 8 ball now. That last shot. And again, nothing's going to come easy.
Got a chance though if he elects. Can he just pot this open red to the bottom left and take the cue ball into the yellow and black?
Jim?
30 seconds.
Different shots. Yannick looks at you. It's hard to know where he's going to go. He's played that fairly gently, but as you can see, he's nudged the 8 ball, and he has made the red ball possible into the bottom right-hand corner.
I still would like to have seen him play that with a little more conviction.
But then again, Jim, the red was travelling towards the centre pocket. I mean, sorry, the black was travelling towards the centre pocket.
But if he plays it with more speed, that white doesn't come off the angle on the same degree either, Alec. I think he might have been able to straighten it up a little bit
30
more.
seconds.
Very good shot there from Phil.
And Yannick as well.
Sorry, I do apologise. Very good shot from Yannick. Got my players mixed up there.
That's one for you, Alec. Not many get one up on the basher.
Well, Yannick's turned this frame around here. He's definitely put himself in the running. He's got to pot this red in the bottom
30
corner.
seconds.
Screw the white back. You can see where he's looking. Dead straight onto it, into the top left-hand corner.
That's not bad.
A little bit of angle.
Not
but
bad at all.
he's
He can
pushing-
just use the 8 to hold position onto the other red.
Yeah, he's pushing the black towards the centre, which won't hurt either. Even if it lands on the side cushion, the black will travel off the yellow into the bottom right-hand corner. It won't be as tough a pot with that yellow sitting there.
It's a tough shot though.
30 seconds.
It's made the pot.
It's a great out this, if he can just get onto this black.
Has he got an angle where you can pop the red into the centre pocket, bring the cue ball across and play the 8 ball down into the bottom right hand corner into that big pocket?
Very straight, and it is. And given that that cue ball is so near that side cushion, I wouldn't want to try and start pinching that middle pocket. Wouldn't surprise me to see him raise that and try and
30
draw,
seconds.
get as close to that 8 as he can and hope for the best. He really needs to be a little lucky here.
I think this comes down to choice. Jim, like you were saying before, what players prefer and what they don't.
That's beautiful.
Great
That's
shot.
about as well as he could have done.
That's a fantastic result there too.
He's got that big pocket that both of you alluded to. And this to take him just one frame away from a guaranteed £5,000 payday and a place in the final with a chance at 10. It's there. A beautiful clearance from Yannick Beaufils, and he right now is the man of the moment. One frame away, 9 seconds. Beaufils over Harrison. Well, that was some kind of clearance, but this was a terrific shot. He did pinch that middle pocket just enough to get the top side of the 8, and I didn't think he could do that.
That's a cracking 8 ball though, Jim, wasn't it?
Never looked out. And what a feeling. And the adrenaline must just be flying through Beaufils' body right now. Can he keep it under control?
Pacing up and down like a caged tiger.
17th frame. Yannick Beaufils to break. Leading 9 frames to 7.
He has the final in his sights.
I think he's had the final in his sights about 4 or 5 frames ago. The way he's been playing pool. 7 of the last 8 frames all gone the way of the Frenchman. And he's breaking for the match. Just caressing that cue ball. hoping that it's going to be a friend. And now he eyes it up. And the most important break he's going to hit to this stage of the match. Yellow, top left. Chance has come. A terrific split of colors. And Yannick Beaufils is one step away from the peak of the mountain.
Seconds.
Reds and yellows all available. For me, it looks like reds might be the color of choice.
He's getting straight onto his awkward red. First shot. His stomach must be churning because the balls are there for Yannick to win his match and set up a battle with Jason Twist in the world final.
Well, the way he's playing right now, I don't know if Jason Twist is anywhere around where he can see this, but if he didn't know what Beaufils was capable of, he does now. Big shot, this one. He's been a bit unlucky. He's still got the red bottom right, but that wasn't the intended. But you know, having said that, that might not be the worst ball to play anyway.
No, I don't think it's too bad at all. He's got to get rid of that red underneath on that bottom right-hand rail.
He's got a chance to bring the black out and possibly get it right into the center of the table.
I don't think that's too bad there, Jim. The black being there isn't too bad at all. The ball I can see him playing last is the ball that's closest to the yellow. The yellow that he just moved, because that did pass to the right-hand side, but now he's opened up all his options.
This actually looks pretty inviting, doesn't it? Can he hold himself together to complete a tremendous victory?
Just 5 more balls away. And there's Phil Harrison. He's got to be pretty down on himself at the moment because he has had chances and he's missed some simple pots at the end. Ones that I've never ever seen Phil miss before. All you can say is it's pure and simple, it's pressure.
What about Yannick though? He's going to see his dream come true. He's been playing this from when he was a junior, and he's probably been to every final, and he would dreamt to have been out there in front of 500 people on a final night, and he's about to see. It's just fantastic.
Well, it's not quite come true just yet.
No, but that's what he's thinking, and that's where all the pressure comes in, of course. And you can see him just taking more and more time over each shot. You can see the nerves and the tension in his face. He really does want this.
One more good positional shot.
Basically, he's got to pop this red into the left-hand centre, send a cue ball up to the top rail, straight back down the other side, just past the middle pocket. Be absolutely perfect. And this is how he's going to do it.
He can land anywhere near that X is. He's home and dry. Not too bad. Not too bad at all.
Wouldn't you just love the cue ball just a bit away from that cushion?
at least he's got the right angle there, Tony. He's not going to run behind yellow. So he's just got to worry about potting the ball. He can play it firm, soft, whatever he prefers.
I'll tell you what, I'd be hitting this one on about the 5th shake.
And hope. Drop to your knees and scream out, calling all pockets, eh, Tony? It's
see the
there!
You see him
It's
jump
there!
away.
Yannick Beaufils! He can feel it, he can sense it. The simplest of eights for a place in the final. Yannick Beaufils, a 10-7 winner over Phil Harrison, and he will meet Jason Twist in the Embassy Whirlpool final.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I ask you to stay in your seats, please? Stay in your seats, please. Thank you.
A tremendous comeback. He trailed 6-2, but he managed to hold his nerve. Pity for Phil Harrison, but fair play to the man from France. A tremendous performance, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a great comeback after the interval. His chips were down and out, but Phil had all the first chances and he blew them all back to Yannick, and Yannick, glad for little them all.
Absolutely. So he's through to the final. Let's confirm that result. He's up against the Englishman Jason Twist in the final. I hate to say it, Pat. That's the man that beat you 10-7. Yannick putting out Phil Harrison by the same scoreline. So the final will look something like the Jason Twist up against Yannick Beaufils over 21 frames, and it promises to be an absolutely tremendous match. Who would you put your money on in that one? Come on, don't sit on the fence anymore tonight.
But very close. I'd go with Jason with the experience of already holding a title before, so I'd side with Jason, and he beat me, so.
He was very solid against you in your match.
Yeah, he was very, that last one took out to take a match out was very good.
But Yannick, he's got nerve as well. He's good under pressure.
Yeah, he's got everything, Yannick. Just hopefully can hold himself
Do
together.
you think the trophy's going to be crossing the water?
We'll wait and see.
Okay. Well, I'm delighted to say that Jim White, he's made his way into the arena and he has the winner with him. Let's hear what he has to say.
Well, yes, thanks, Mark. I'm here with, I'm sure, must be a very delighted Yannick Beaufils. And Yannick, you were 6-2 down at one stage. Did you think you were going to pull it out that easily then?
No, I can't believe it. 6-2 down, and he let me one frame to 7-2 or 6-3, and when I'm back, I have to do 2 clearance, 6-5, and maybe I give him little pressure, and I'm still on. I missed a few shots, but I can't believe it.
Well, you still feel a little bit shaky. I know you're a bundle of nervous energy, but you sure make it work for you, Yannick. I've got to tell you. A couple bad misses from Phil Harrison, but boy, didn't you capitalize.
I don't understand, sorry.
Well, I can tell you one thing, Mark. The way that Yannick plays pool, he lets his cue do all the talking for him anyway. Don't worry about that, but it's very enjoyable, and I can't wait this final.
We've had 2 tremendous semi-finals. The next time you join us, it will be the final of the Embassy World Pool Championships. Don't miss it. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.